This episode of Previews World Weekly is brought to you by Previews World Pullbox. With Pullbox, the continuation of your favorite story is only a few clicks away. Sign up now by visiting previewsworld.com/pullbox.
This week on Previews World Weekly, we discuss the Kevin Keller Kickstarter campaign. Try saying that 5 times fast. Plus, it's Disney versus the world and those comics you're kicking yourself for missing out on. It's all happening right now on Previews World Weekly.
What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, a.k.a. the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day, with no Free Comic Book Day updates for you guys. Sorry about that.
I mean, it's okay. Look, you just cleared one, and eventually, what you want to say about maybe January? There will be something new to say. Maybe before that?
Maybe, yeah, I would say maybe before that. Maybe by the end of the year, we might have something for you guys.
Okay, all right, cool. So yeah, just keep an eye out, guys. Follow Ashton on Free Comic Book Day, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Am I forgetting some? Facebook, Twitter.
All the things.
All the things. And
all the places.
She'll hook you up. She'll let you know. I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Johnny, for the bottom third. I appreciate that. I don't know what Francesca really misses. I'm hoping it's this show. So
me too.
But there's no reason to miss this show because it comes out every single week. But in case you haven't been catching them, thank you for coming. No Halloween one this year. I'm assuming it's Halloween Comic Fest.
Yeah, I think so too. So unfortunately, there is no Halloween Comic Fest this year because we did Free Comic Book Day later in the year in August. It just backed up too closely to Halloween Comic Fest, and from a logistical standpoint, it was kind of just too much to pull off. So we're skipping this year, but we will be back next year with the spooks.
Oh, yeah, there you go, with the spooks. I like that. That should be the slogan. We'll be back next year with the spooks.
I like it.
So we're not alone this week. We have a special guest joining us. We didn't do much fanfare for her, so I apologize in advance, Natasha. But jump on in, CannonDoll-X. What's going on?
How dare you, sir? Hi. What's up, everybody?
How you doing? What's going on? You're back. You're doing Talking Toys again, right?
I am. We actually shot today, earlier today, and then I had to pick up my baby and then come home, and I literally just ate lunch.
Nice.
I'm a little hungry. I'm a little tired, but all smiles and excited. Super excited to be back in the studio again. This is our second week filming, and we have some exciting news in that we have switched things up a bit. So it's not just me going, hey, check out this cool toy. Let's talk about it.
I love
it. It is actually unboxing now. I got mysterious hands to help me too. It's pretty fantastic.
Mysterious hands.
Yeah. They help bring in the goods, but it's great. So myself and everyone watching gets to have a little more in-depth look at these toys and collectibles. We get to see how they're boxed, see how to get them unboxed. Which is always part of the fun, and put some of the goodies together, and it's great because as a toy, like I said, very tired toy collector myself, it's really fun to get my dirty hands all over them. Sticky hands, not dirty.
Not COVID friendly,
kids.
But that's okay.
Yeah, nice.
I wash. Yeah,
that's okay.
But,
we don't give these ones away and for prizes, right? So it'll be all right.
Yes. Apologize for the future of words that I can't say later.
You're not killing it, Natasha. You're off to a heck of a start here.
It's all right.
It's
okay.
To be here, but
We're gonna give you an opportunity to redeem yourself real quick. Johnny, can you pull up this McFarlane photo for us?
Oh no.
Do you have it waiting in the rings for us? Because I want to know what the deal is. Where's the McFarlane photo?
I thought I got some.
There you go. Look, so McFarlane has been in the news a lot lately, right? He's breaking records. What was it? Gunslinger Spawn, 40,000 copies. King Spawn with 500,000.
And that is
topping, right? Topping sales chart. Talking openly about distribution. I saw actually the other day. But most importantly, I feel like CannonDoll-X and McFarlane are besties. Am I wrong for saying that, or what happened here? Give us the story.
I mean, you're not wrong. We became besties. So this was my husband is a sword maker and just all around maker, awesome dude. He made the Spawn axe for an episode of Super Fan Builds, and it was out in California. That's my daughter. She's about 1 year old here, and maybe closer to 2. And she's now 7, so that tells you how long ago it was. Wow. Yeah. And so we got to go to set while they were doing the big reveal for the fan, and it was this awesome Spawn axe. And I mean, it's the Spawn, it's his Al's eyes. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, the Spawn axe, for those who don't know. It's an awesome double-sided axe. It's totally badass. The eyes are green, and they made the axe for this show called Super Fan Builds, where they picked a fan who was a Super Spawn fan. And this guy he was awesome. He was such a nice dude. I got to talk to him. I can't remember his name. Like I said, it's a long time ago and I haven't slept well. He got to own this axe. And part of the bonus surprise was, we shot this in California, or they shot it in California. They opened this big door and there was Todd McFarlane. And I knew he was going to be there.
Did you know? Okay.
Yeah. I knew. I wasn't the fan. I wasn't the on-screen fan.
You turned into it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you. So the warehouse was fairly big, and as you can tell, my eyesight's really awesome. But I still stayed far enough in the warehouse, like back in the warehouse, so I was close enough to see everything going on, but not close enough to just burst into flames from overexcitement. And eventually he came over and he was talking to my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, and I could read my husband's lips, and he was talking about how my girlfriend Natasha is a big fan. She's been a fan of yours since she was 12 years old, and it would be really cool if you went and met her. He's like, I'm probably going to tell you, she's probably going to cry. It's going to be awesome.
And you did.
And I did. He came over and I instantly was like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating. My face turned red. And
Did he remember you at New York Comic Con? Because I know you interviewed him later.
Yes. So
for us, actually. Yeah.
It's one thing when you get to meet your hero and they're awesome. Okay. It's another thing when you get to meet Todd McFarlane, because he's on a whole other plane of awesome. He's such a down to earth, nice guy. He's easy to talk to. Despite the fact that here's the guy that's created all these great things. Yeah. That was the second time I saw him. He walked up to me, not only remembered me, called me the babbler. Because I was crying so much. But he also asked how my daughter was. He asked how my husband was. He totally, he remembered all the things. And that's the most adorable picture in the whole world.
There you go.
That's Amelia.
I was about to say, your daughter looked like she was the least excited to be in the room. She looks very excited to see him draw here, actually. So
yes. It gets better. They actually drew that image together. So he drew the baby dino, and then she scribbled, and then you can see he wrote a baby dino sketch drawn by Todd McFarlane and Amelia.
Oh, that's cute.
And that is up on our one of our bookshelves here at home. And
maybe you think you can eBay that? Original Todd McFarlane
never,
and Amelia art.
Never, ever. Yeah, he's such a rad dude, and it was such a rad experience. And I cried and babbled. I did babble a lot.
Nice. Also, shout out to you for saying rad. I still say rad. That might be a generation.
I say rad a lot.
I say rad. I say gnarly and I say rad. And sometimes people look at me like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm the right age to say that."
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't worry. I'm rad and gnarly, and I can say it.
Exactly. There you go. Actually, I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
So speaking of Todd McFarlane, right? Spawn 322 is out this week at your local comic shop. So let's dive into what our picks are this week, and then we're going to show you some of the featured items available from your local comic shop this week. What are you about to break out something? What's this? Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. There's
Super glare,
There you go.
Number one.
My husband gave me that as a gift, and it's actual 1992.
We're going to talk later about gems that we passed on, and that's definitely one of mine. So we'll talk about that a little later. But hey, it's New Release Wednesday, so let's get into it. Hallelujah! It's New Release Wednesday. So Ashton, I'm gonna let you go first. What is your pick this week?
Okay,
I'm excited for you.
I'm super excited to talk about this. My pick is Echoland's number 1. from Image Comics. Let me pull up my notes because I have a lot I want to say here. So first of all, I actually physically have this, right? And it came complete with this Post-it note from Troy that says, oh God, my ring light's destroying it. But it says this is awesome because it is. This is such a gem. First issue came out a few weeks ago. There's a raw cut out this week and also issue number 2. So please do yourself a favor and pick it up if you're at your local comic shop. So it's not one of those ones that you feel like you've missed out on.
Right.
It's from J.H. Williams and Hayden Blackman. With colors from Dave Stewart, letters from Todd Klein. And to give you kind of a high-level overview, just so we're all talking about the same thing here before I tell you all of my feelings. Image's synopsis is, in a bizarre future world that has forgotten its history, a reckless thief, Hope Red Hood, holds the key to excavating its dark, strange past if only she and her crew can escape a tyrannical wizard and his unstoppable daughter. So that is definitely a high level overview, but it's so much more than that, right? It's this crazy, like retro futuristic genre mashing, action packed, just explosion. And there's magic. And I use that word loosely because at the end of this first issue, you find out that maybe magic's not quite the most apt description of what's going on, but our center hero, Hope, has this magic that she calls the red. And I'm not sure what it is, where it comes from, but all I know is it does this.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that.
Absolutely
love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So she's on the run. She's stolen something from the wizard that runs this, retro futuristic city in San Francisco. And so the daughter, I'm going to try and show you guys as much of the art in here as I can because it's crazy to look at. So this is the daughter trying to track them down. And it's just beautiful. I wish I could say more. I'm a little not sure where this is going yet, which I love, but it's very much like Robin Hood vibes, but also modern at the same time. Troy, what were your thoughts on this? Because I know you read it first before you passed it off to me.
Yeah, well, firstly, I got both covers, so I actually have the other cover for number 1 here.
Those are so cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's J.H. Williams. He did Batwoman. J.H. Williams he did Seven Soldiers. He's just a phenomenal artist. And like, I can only imagine, I read the backup and the extras in the back. And they mentioned that, this was years in the making. And I can only imagine it took a very long time for this book to come out. It's gorgeous. I know some people were complaining about the format and having to shelve it, but I mean, it stands out, which is what made me pick it up. And on top of that, it's gorgeous and it's a attention grabber. So I think my only one thing is I don't know if this is actually going to fit in the bag and board. I don't know. If it's gonna,
true. You know what? Because they published all of the Barrier comics in the same horizontal way, and some of them were problematic with bags and boards.
Yep. So, but I mean, it's definitely worth checking out. And I mean, you could just stare at it all day. I have just randomly, I've left it out around the house and just kind of flipped through it just to kind of look at it some more. And there's some great extras in the back as well. I want to shout out Brianna says, hi, just here to support my friend. Was that you, Natasha?
It's me. That's a friend, Bree. She's in New Zealand.
Okay, what's up, Bree? And John M. Perillo, hi, Spawn is awesome. Thank you, John.
Agreed.
Cover Price Comics. I see you on our Instagram all the time. Thanks for shouting us out. Thanks for talking about Pullbox. Just saying what's up, Previous World. I can't wait for the new Spawn toys. So I appreciate
also
that.
Agree.
Right. What else? Cover Price Comics says probably can fit magazine size bags and forth. That may be too big for this.
But then wouldn't it be too big?
Yeah. You want it to be a little snug. So I don't know, but I think it's awesome. I'm glad you liked it, Ashton, because I would have been heartbroken if you didn't. I was like, I feel like Ashton would like this one. So.
I loved it, right? When I got it, the first thing I did was just flip through it, and the art, I was immediately like, oh my God. Right. It's so detailed. Not a single inch of the page goes uncovered. It's so detailed. Nothing is filler space. And then I read it, and it's exactly the kinds of stories I always pick, right? It's some sort of apocalyptic, retro-futuristic, tyrannical overlord, everything that I love. So.
Totally your jam. Totally your jam. Yeah.
Actually, Carrie Miller says my copy fits perfectly in my bag, no board. All right, cool.
Oh, perfect.
All right, good to know. Yeah, I haven't tested it out yet because, like I said, I've been leaving it out around the house. CannonDoll-X. I got to clarify. It's CannonDoll-X, and sometimes we call you Natasha as well, right?
Yes, that's
so.
Okay.
Just so the people
you can also just call me Cannon.
Confused. And Cannon,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
But
I don't care what you call me, as long as you call me.
Whoa.
That
Heyo.
credit to Miss Piggy. I learned that from Miss Piggy when I was like 12.
Oh God, that is from
She
Miss
said
Piggy.
that?
She said about that.
That is the most Miss Piggy thing imaginable.
Miss Piggy pickup lines. I love
Yes.
it.
I don't care what you call me, as long as you call me.
What's your pick this week?
So I went with Spider-Man, Miles Morales' Spider-Man, for a few reasons. One, this is my daughter's favorite Spider-Man. Amelia loves Miles Morales so much. Part of the reason she likes to cosplay as Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen. This one in particular is super special. One, he's got his like new awesome suit on, and then he's skateboarding, and as a skater I love it. But also this is the 10th anniversary of Miles Morales, so this one has a whole slew of creators from Spider-Man mixed into this storyline and the images and everything, so it's just a really cool book to pick up. If you're a Spider-Man fan, Miles Morales, any of that, this is one you don't want to kick yourself later for not getting.
No, the artist Chase Conley. They I don't know if Chase Conley's art is actually in the book, but he was commissioned to do the redesign of Miles Morales' costume, and he had been posting for months, and he never really quite said what it was. He just kind of treated it like, "Oh, I just felt like doing this. Oh, I just felt like doing this." And then I saw the cover, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect. I love it. I want Miles to have his own identity." Like,
we were discussing that earlier a little bit, and that it's great because then it's Miles Morales. It's not Peter Parker and then a version of it. Like it's his own thing, and as well he should have his own style and his own thing, his own expression. So yeah, I totally dig it, and that's why I picked this way. I don't have a bunch of words like Ashton had for her comic, but I really loved it, and it's just a really fun, and as a Spider-Man fan, like it's always great when there's an anniversary, because you're always going to get a lot of extras and bells and whistles inside. So check it out.
My pick this week, I'm so excited and I'm so scared, guys. Jonathan Hickman's big conclusion to his X-Men. It's this week. Issue number 1 drops, and like Ashton nodding knowingly, because she knows I've been talking this up, and I've been hyper defensive about people criticizing it, and I've been like, guys, just run with it. It'll be good. It's going to finish well. It's going to finish strong. It's going to finish strong. And yeah, I mean, it's here, and like I almost am not ready for it to end. I actually kind of wish he'd kind of stuck around for like maybe another year or two. But you know what? If this is his ending, then this is his ending. Right. Also, I didn't say what it was. It's called Inferno, which calls back to like the 80s X-Men crossover. And in that particular story, the X-Men kind of cross a line and murder the Marauders. And it's interesting to see like this image on the cover, because a lot of people, one of the criticisms about Hickman's run is that his X-Men are crossing a line and they aren't acting like the X-Men anymore. And how dare they do this and how dare they do that? So I think that we're going to see a lot of like comeuppance during the course of this story. I don't think that Hickman is unaware of like how X-Men like the X-Men have been acting. And I think that he's been planting seeds for that. So I'm excited. And it's just 4 issues. I believe this issue is oversized. I think each issue is going to be oversized. So yeah, and like truthfully, I don't even need to hard sell it because I know a lot of people are going to pick it up. It's available at your local comic shop this week, so definitely check that out. And I hope it ends strong. Let us know in the comments what you guys are reading, and we're going to put you onto some more comics available this week. Here's Anna Mia with what's at comic shops, and when we come back, we'll do some news. How about that?
Mia here, and I'm going to give you a look at some of the new titles in stores this week. Here's what's at comic shops for the week of September 29th, 2021. And we're just getting started. The world of comics has even more to offer. So stop at a shop already and you might just find your new favorite thing. See ya.
All right, and thank you, Anna Mia. And you can catch Mia and Natasha every single week. Anna Mia does What's the Comic Shops, where she gives you a rundown of the comics hitting this week, and that's on Monday. And then Natasha shows up on Tuesday and gives you a rundown of all the new toys that are available at your local comic shop that week. So
sure do.
Yeah, be sure to tune in. And I got some more reading recommendations here. I love Spider-Man, Spawn, and Daredevil. I'm actually reading Daredevil right now, and I'm actually really enjoying Chip Zdarsky, Mark Cicchetto run.
So he likes characters with the color red.
Right, yeah, that seems to be
right? I'm kidding. Yeah, little red and black action.
Little red and black action, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's kick it over to the news, because we got some, there's some
doozies.
Interesting things. Yeah, there's some doozies. There really is. Like some stuff that I think we could really unpack, and we probably have to be a little careful with. So let's do it. News time.
News.
I was wondering if Johnny was going to do it. He did it. I'm so great. I'm so happy. So grateful.
I wasn't ready for that. Oh my god.
So, all right, Ashton, you have the chair, Ashton. What is
drunk uncle like
That's Johnny. He's the drunkle of Previews World. There you go.
Oh my god.
The drunkle.
Ashton, you have the chair.
Okay.
You're right. I got the chair. Let me be serious. Okay. Disney's mad at everyone. Not really sure how to line that up any politer than that.
That's fair.
So Walt Disney Company is suing several comic book artists over their rights to sue certain Marvel superheroes. And so that includes folks like Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man. On Friday, Disney sued Larry Lieber, who helped create those characters, Iron Man, Thor, and Ant-Man, as well as the estates of several other artists, including Spider-Man's co-creator, Steve Ditko, and Black Widow co-creator, Donald Heck. And so Disney has asked federal courts in New York as well as LA to issue judgments that they alone own the rights to these characters. And so according to Disney, Lieber, who is brother of Stan Lee, and the heirs of other artists served notices to Disney indicating that they were terminating Marvel's rights to those characters. And so Dan Petroselli, a lawyer for Disney, came back on Friday and said they were filing those suits to confirm that those termination notices were invalid and had no legal effect on the characters or their usages at Marvel. And so I guess Disney's core argument here is that the rights to any of these creations by Marvel comic book artists is that they were created for hire and they were paid per page. And so because they were paid for the creation, they're then Marvel's property.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about that, the work for hire argument? Because this has been something that's been thrown around before, and it's sometimes worked against the people suing, and it's sometimes worked for the people who are suing. What do you guys think of this? Because I know we're all comic fans. Like, thoughts, opinions? Tasha's like keeping it real tight. What's up?
I know. What is that face?
I don't know. It's a heavy subject.
It is.
Like,
no, it is.
And a tricky one. And, like as a creator of stuff, it's, you've got to, you hang on to it to a certain degree. And then if you sell it or you this, or you're creating for somebody else, it's also really hard because, you made that, but then now that person can take and, do whatever they want with it or whatever. And so.
And the big issue there too, it's part of the discussion, is like the appreciation of these creations over time, right?
Yeah.
So there's no way to know when you created Iron Man, whatever year he was created, that by 2008 he would have his own movie, and by 2021 he would be the core character in one of the biggest movie franchises ever, right? So how do you balance, that you already paid for this work and that you did sell this work off with the appreciation of it, and how much of that appreciation are you entitled to as a creator? It's a mess.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. It's interesting. I think we talked about this specifically, Ashton, at one point in time. I have always suspected that the reason that the Star Wars franchise did not they went for the Legends route, right? Instead of opting to adapt the novels and comic books like more directly, was because Disney had been hit so hard by Marvel lawsuits, because of course this is not the first. Like Jack Kirby sued, Stan Lee sued actually not too long ago. There was a whole dust up about Ghost Rider a couple of years ago, and like one of the anchors was like, well, the collaborative process and the Marvel method means that I also need to get credit for this. And I've always kind of suspected that. And like, it's interesting because like, I feel like this this acquisition of Marvel from 2009 is proven to be Disney biting off more than they can chew. And I don't know. I'm interested to see. I assume that the creators or the family of the creators, the estates, were primarily looking for legal action so that they could settle.
I mean, because that's what happened with Jack Kirby, right?
That's what happened with Jack Kirby, right?
He settled back in 2014 following a very similar scenario.
Right. So Disney's swinging back, I think, is might throw a monkey wrench in their plans. But we're going to be watching it. We're going to be watching it closely. We were talking a little bit a few weeks ago about the embattled nature of Disney lately. So
I think somebody woke the monster up and now they're really paying attention.
Yeah. I think that's an accurate description, 100%. So we'll see. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. We'll post the less incendiary answers and put them on.
Sure.
What's going on with Kevin Keller, Ashton? What's going on in the world of Riverdale and Archie?
Bro, I'm hype. So, Kevin Keller's turning 10 years old this year, 10th anniversary of Kevin Keller, which also coincides with the 80th anniversary of Archie. So that's a nice little lineup. So in celebration of his 10th anniversary, Dan Parent is kind of championing this Kickstarter campaign to put together this enormous 700-page omnibus featuring every Kevin Keller tale ever. And why this is important because Kevin Keller is the first openly gay LGBT plus character in Archie's entire pantheon. And so this book will feature his first appearance in Veronica's series, 4-issue miniseries, the Kevin Keller Stanley 4-issue miniseries, 15-issue series, his special Life with Kevin graphic novel, plus all of his classic style tales, like the Jumbo Digest style stories. So this thing is going to be a beast. They're super close to their goal. So I see this coming through. And I'm sure it'll show up in the previews catalog at some point if you miss out on it on Kickstarter. I'm sure Archie will get this in the catalog and you can get it at your local comic shop at some point in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, I imagine this will come to comic shops at some point in time. So just keep an eye out, guys. Just keep an eye out. Also, let's talk a little bit about the retailer summit, because Diamond held a retailer summit this weekend, and I think people were a little surprised that sales were up in comics last year. Which look, we talked about the pessimistic nature sometimes of comic fans, right? But this is a good thing, right? So I think the number they threw out was 18%, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so I've seen a lot of armchair quarterbacking as to why. But I just wanted to give this a shout out because it's a positive thing, and my takeaway is people wanted to read more during the pandemic. Yeah. And what's the saying? A rising tide raises all ships, right? So absolutely. This is a plus. And keep your hot takes to yourself.
No, we're not accepting feedback.
We're not accepting feedback on this one. Whatever.
Shut off the comments.
Shut off the comments. Cut it. Cut it. Also, so wow, I feel like this is the internet inception of internet inceptions. So last week we talked about the Jim Lee tomato soup incident with the X-Men #1 original art. We all kind of agreed that okay, that was a fake out, right? It definitely was a fake out, right? But then on top of that fake out, there was another fake out. You see what I mean by the inception thing? Ones. Yeah. Right. So there was this image floating around. I totally fell for it that Nicolas Page purchased X-Men #1, his original artwork, for $5.1 million. And, I totally believed it because, look, it's been well documented that Nicolas Cage is a comic book fan. Literally, that's not, Nicholas Coppola is his actual name. And so Cage came from Luke Cage from Marvel. That's literally how he got that name. And
his son's name is Kal.
His son's name is Kal as well. Thank you very much. But it turns out that this is completely false, completely made up. And I don't know, Johnny, who debunked this exactly? Who are we looking at here? The Torpedo debunk it, or just someone else?
So what I found was that there was an image where it was the same story that you see over here, but at the top was like a posting from Torpedo Comics, and it said something along the lines like, "Unfortunately, this is false, but Mr. Cage is welcome to shop at our location anytime."
So yeah, I just thought
if you want to spend your money, spend it here.
Spend it here. There you go.
So,
you spend $5.1 million.
You know where this would be classified as? Fake news.
Yes, it would be. I totally agree with you.
I'll see myself out.
Thank you, Johnny.
Talk to you, Johnny.
That was much appreciated. No, that's pretty much like it spread so wide, and I saw it on my Facebook feed, my Twitter feed. I saw it in groups on Facebook that I'm in. And Tosh is about to die.
Okay, you guys have to understand. I worked with Johnny earlier today, like in person, and he was on fire with the dad jokes and just the funny. Like I was featuring a certain toy, Beaker from the Muppets, and he's ready for this. And
he's totally ready for this. This is so funny.
I had done this voice, and I went as if Beaker was like a hair metal, heavy metal band, and he said he went more of the direction as if Beaker was Batman.
Oh God!
And it would be swear to me. There it is. I nearly fell out of my seat, and it took what felt like 20 minutes to chill out and then go back to, let me tell you about this toy. Like, I was losing it.
I am both upset and elated by the fact that just how prepared Johnny was for that image. You know what, Johnny? We don't have a thumbnail this week. You should just do that. Just run that. That's a thumbnail for this week. Slap Previews World Weekly on it and be done.
Perfect. So summary, Johnny is on fire today. 100%.
Johnny's on fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my cheeks hurt again.
We're gonna go away for a second so we can get ourselves together. In the meantime, check out this trailer that celebrates 35 years of Dark Horse, and when we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about it.
Good.
All right, sorry. Before we talk about Dark Horse, because you said Johnny was on fire.
Yeah,
John jumped in with "Is he Johnny Blaze?" The dad jokes keep coming, guys. Thank you very much, John. Thanks for playing, John.
It's gonna be a good week.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't realize that Dark Horse had been celebrating the 35th anniversary. And Dark Horse is both, and I mean this in a positive way, random and consistent.
Yes.
Well,
that makes perfect sense somehow.
Yeah, unlike other publishers, they're not focused on a particular genre, right? But the quality is always up there. And I mean that's just across the board. Whether you're reading, I was about to say Halo. They don't have Halo anymore. But whether you're reading, whether you're reading the autobiography of Muhammad Ali,
Count Crowley.
You already know Count Crowley, Alistair Adolf. Semi-Automagic, or everybody's favorite, The Umbrella Academy.
Yay!
Right? Like it's just you get like really top tier stuff, and so happy 35th to them, and of course, You can get all the Dark Horse stuff you need at your local comic shop. So definitely show Dark Horse some love and your local comic shop some love, and get on some of the titles and the creators that they showed in that video. Also, I want to point out, I just did an interview with Brian Michael Bendis, like that we pre-recorded. We're probably going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks. But one of the things that Bendis said that I thought was actually really interesting is he talked about how he's taking powers to Dark Horse for the first time, and how Dark Horse has been courting him in a way to like get his creator-owned stuff over there. And he's like, I've always felt like Powers was a Dark Horse book, so it's perfect that it comes here now. So yeah, just kind of check it out. Like we're going to be dropping some promotional bits for it in the coming weeks, and you can get in on what Brian Michael Bendis has in store coming to Dark Horse very soon. What else we got here? I think it's Social Swamp time. Social Swamp?
Yes.
All right. This is a fun one. This should be a fun one. Let's dive in. Let's do some Social Swamp. Let's get it.
Okay, I feel like we've mentioned this 5 times already, but now it is officially time to unpack your answers to what comic books you felt you missed out on, right? So something you passed on and you regret picking up now that it's either super popular or too many issues in or whatever it may be. So let's see what you guys had to say. Sherman says, not me, but a customer of mine comically picked up the first 11 issues of the Batman Adventures, but quit there on account of they weren't great. Missed the first appearance of Harley by that much.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yikes. Jackie says, I was at an antique mall with my dad before comics got hot from the movies and shows. I came across an Incredible Hulk 181 for $500 and did not buy it because I didn't want to hear my dad lecture me about spending that much money on a comic book. Oh, well.
Man, $500 is a steal for that. I'm curious what condition that was in. It's the first Wolverine.
Harold says, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Held it in my hands and said to myself, turtles dressed up like ninjas? Who's going to read this? And put it back in the rack. Next thing you know, cartoons, video games, movies.
Apparently everyone.
Yeah.
Scott says, the answer will always be The Walking Dead #1 for $2.99 cover price. Black and white zombie book? It'll never last.
Oof.
Clay says, not many, really. I wish I would have picked up on Valiant Comics as a whole years ago. Now they got a movie out. The price of their back issues have been going up in my area.
Okay, interesting.
Zach says, I remember passing on the first Spider-Man because I wasn't into the whole Spider-Verse crossover. Roland says, I never regret not picking up a title. The one I do regret is selling first appearance. The one I do regret is selling first appearance of Deadpool back in the 90s. Even though at the time I got 25% over the Overstreet Mint price, it was still sold for less than $20. And now, well, you know.
So, I just real quick, I will say I also had the first appearance of Deadpool and got rid of it. Because I don't like Deadpool. So I was like, whatever. This is way before the movie.
Yeah.
And I also worked at a comic shop when Walking Dead #1 came out, and it definitely was $2.99, and I definitely was like, zombie comic, whatever. Yeah. Hindsight.
Yeah, always. Oh, that's what all of these are.
All of these are. Do you guys have any horror stories like that? No, you're always on top of it, Natasha, every single time?
On top of it, yes, but I mean, for me, it's just always, it all comes back to Spawn. Always Spawn. I had tons of Spawn, and when my mom passed away, the storage unit got sold, and I didn't know, so I lost all of those. So that's more of a regret, I guess. But I didn't know also. But pretty much anytime I see a comic that looks interesting to me or whatever, I try to grab it and pick it up and get my hands on it. And then I'm a hoarder, clearly. I'm just kidding. I have children. And so I don't, and after losing the Spawn comics, I don't let them go. Even if they're free comic book day comics, I hang on to all of them.
Well, see, that's dangerous though.
I don't care how much they were when I pick them up. I hang on to them.
Yeah, hang on to them.
Because, I also have kids, so I can pass it down to them. Whether they want it or not.
Nice. Here, take this thing, enjoy it. You have to.
I purchased this really fancy comic book drawer, and it only fits 1,000 comics, right?
Only, all right.
And well, yeah, only.
You have to
right?
send me a link.
And I will. It's $900. I will tell you that right now.
Send me the money and then send me the link.
Send the money and the link. There you go. But I told myself, it's like, okay, this will force me to like stick to like keeping my collection at 1,000 books. And I bought that last year, and already, like, I mean, under my computers there's comics.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like just everywhere, like, you know what I mean? So I'm already failing at it. But what about you, Ashton? What's you got any horror stories? I know that you're not as much of a collector as you just like to read, but what's your deal?
Yeah, so I have two things here that are only like tangentially related to the topic, but I'm gonna share them both. The first one is, so I think earlier this year, maybe late last year, comic came out called Wind. I couldn't even tell you who publishes it, but I remember Josh like showing it to us. It was like when we were doing previews game nights. It had to have been last year. It's like, this is so cute. Like, Ashton, you'll love this. It's just like Avatar. You should try it. And I was like, all right, I will. And I went to Cards, Comics, and Collectibles in Reisterstown the following weekend. I don't know why I didn't buy it, but it was there. And then I completely lost track of it. I have no clue what issue it's even on now. I guess I could probably sort that out pretty easily. And then my second one is, when I was younger, I bought a pack of comic book cards from Target and somehow, by some miracle, lucked into a holographic Lugia card that 15 years ago, my cousin tried to pay me $300 to take off my hand. And I was like, no, just on principle. I wanted to dig in my heels and be difficult. But now I can't find it. It's somewhere in this house.
Oh, no.
I know it's around. It's here. I would never get rid of it, but I could not tell you where it is.
Oh, no.
You sure your cousin didn't steal it?
Now your cousin's going to come over unexpectedly and start
rummaging through my house.
Right. What are you doing in there? Nothing.
Yeah.
Francesca says, all of my dad's Superman comics burned up in a fire. His collection was from the beginning.
Oh.
Now, Francesca, please clarify from the beginning, because if you're talking about like 1939,
like Action Comics #1,
right? Like my heart breaks for you.
Yeah.
Cover Price Comics says, I had every book Todd ever penciled all the way back to Infinity Inc. Wow, Batman and Coyote. Lost it all in the fire, and then Hurricane Sandy got the rest. Oh man.
Oh.
So heartbreaking when, like, oh man.
She said, like he legit had Superman.
Oh,
wow.
Ugh. I feel your pain, Natasha.
Yeah,
Man.
and also to add insult to injury, not only did I have all those comics, I also had all the action figures. So I collected all of the Spawn action figures, all the variants of them. So I'm from California originally, and there's a place called Kmart, and they used to have 24-hour Kmarts. And my friend Shauna and I used to go to Kmart on Thursday nights in the middle of the night, and we'd hang out like, be crazy kids. And because at 2:00 they would stock the shelves in the toy section, and I would go over there and just stand by them like a crazy person and wait for them. Like, they had a rule. I had to wait till they put it on the hook before I could take it off the hook.
What?
Oh, wow.
And they made me work for it, but who cares? Because at the time they had no idea what they had. They were selling these figures for like $6 to $9. And it was like the epic stuff, like some of the medieval stuff, some of where it's got Al and he's got like bats coming off his shoulder that you could just put on there, like super amazing, amazing action figures. And I had them all, and those were all in there too.
Natasha, are you talking about possibly some of these, like cybernetic Spawn?
Oh God, yes, some of those. Oh my gosh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cover Price copy saying hamburger.
You're just trying to make me cry
now?
What is that? Hamburger head green translucent?
I guess that's one of the
is that some kind of like activation code, like the Winter Soldier?
Right.
Yeah.
Ready to comply.
I read that as Hamburglar.
Of course you did.
Nope, hamburger.
Hamburger.
I wanted to pop in here real quick, if I
in.
may, because this isn't really something I missed. I'm kind of like with Natasha, because if I see a comic, I'll pick it up. Then I have no regrets, really. But in terms of things that in terms of things that I've lost because there was someone earlier that had mentioned that they sold Deadpool earlier on. One of the things I had was pretty much almost every single issue of Wizard magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
I miss this comic so much. This was like so much fun to read. It had a price guide in the back. We're doing like casting calls for movies, Marvel Knights casting call and everything like that. This was just such a great book to read. And I don't know if there's really anything like this today in the market, but this was so much fun. And I also miss Toy Fair magazine.
Oh, I love Toy Fair.
Because of Twisted Toy Fair Theater, especially. And funny thing is, one of the people who used to work in this magazine now works with Diamond Toys, Zach Oat.
You've shown me this before.
So I still have yet to do this, but one of these days I'm going to go to New York Toy Fair and just go up to him and like fanboy, even though we've worked together. It's like, Zach, here's you want my copy of Toy Fair magazine.
I'm not gonna lie. I met Zach and I talked to Zach, and then when I found out he worked for a Toy Fair, I instantly just a glow emanated around him. It was just like, oh, Zach, hey Zach. No, actually you brought up a memory of me going to Tower Records back in the day, like in the early 2000s, and hunting down McFarlane figures. And I had a bunch of really random ones, but I had full collections that I just got rid of. I had they did one for Metallica. I had every single band member.
Yes.
I had some. I had one of Spawn on a throne of skulls. And I had all the Metal Gear Solid ones he did as well. So, and I just was like, oh, I'm an adult now. I don't need these anymore. What is this? Went to the 1993 Wizard Awards, Miss Wizard magazine. Yeah. Actually, Wizard finally officially shuttered this year. So actually, that's thanks for bringing that up, Johnny. That's the end of an era officially. Let's take it over to the weekly poll. What's going on with the weekly poll? What are you making people yell about on Free Comic Book Day, Ashton?
It's me, Mario. We're yelling about Mario, guys, because apparently Chris Pratt's doing that, which seems like a decision that was made. So I asked you guys to tell me how you feel. How do you feel about Chris Pratt being Mario? Is this a good thing or is this a not so good thing? And people were immediately off to the races with this.
Oh boy, I bet. Jeez, Lord,
I hate it here.
Wow.
I like how we're suddenly so quiet.
Right,
we're just like, okay.
Johnny showed us a different version of this yesterday, and
yes,
it didn't occur to me that this would be the second time that Chris Pratt has fought dinosaurs if he does a Mario movie until that moment. So
I didn't think about it like that.
First, I'd like to say I don't know who did this, so I wish I could give the person credit for doing the Photoshop work on this, but it's really good.
Right.
But secondly, I want there to be a scene in this Mario movie with Chris Pratt, that shot where he's got his back turned, he's trying to wrangle in 3 Yoshis,
wrangling 3 Yoshis.
Oh my gosh!
Like that shot in Jurassic World where he's just like,
yep, totally. And there's going to be a third Jurassic World, isn't there? Anyway, back to the polls. Yeah, I think there is.
Oh,
anyway,
back to the poll. So I don't know.
How
what are
about
your
Jack
thoughts?
Black though? That's some good casting.
Jack Black is Mario. Actually, that could have
he's
worked.
Bowser.
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 Oh, he's Bowser. Oh, that's actually even better. Actually, I love that. So, how do you guys feel about this overall? How do you feel about the Chris Pratt move?
I'm confused because I'm very confused because I'm not sure about Mario's ethnicity. I think that's my first thing I need to sort out. Is he supposed to be Italian or is he supposed to be Mexican? Because I think that dictates how I'm going to feel about this.
He's Italian.
Is he? Okay.
He's definitely an Italian plumber.
Crap, I can't remember his name.
Now you're going to
whoever played Luigi in the live action one came out and was like, "Oh, I'm upset that there's no Latino representation."
John Leguizamo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that created a lot of confusion for me because I was like, I swear these people are Italian, but now I'm like, maybe they're Mexican. Okay, so he's Italian.
It's Italian.
He's Italian, and actually
it's me, Mario.
Now you made me look up.
All
right. Now you made me look up. Made me look up the ethnicity of Captain Lou Albino, because I was very curious. And he played Mario on the TV show. He is Italian American, so
I think it was Lou Albano, not Albino.
Albino, sorry, Lou Albano. Sorry, my bad.
Albino. No, you were right the first time.
He's definitely not. He's definitely not pale.
Not albino.
But anyway, Natasha,
this show is going off the rails. I'm going to start to apologize in so many levels.
Right. I'm so sorry.
Right. But Natasha, how do you feel about this casting before we dive in?
As much as my middle daughter is a big Chris Pratt fan, because let's be honest, he's in everything that she watches, from dinosaurs to Legos. So for me, even if he threw in an Italian accent in there, I'm still going to hear Chris Pratt's voice. I'm not going to hear Mario. I'm going to get like, oh, cool. Okay, that's Chris Pratt. You know, you're not going to, there's going to be no character acting is going to be involved there. Even if he like really swings the Italian thing. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know why they casted him.
Sure.
I know why, obvious reasons. Cha-ching. But,
right, yeah.
But like, as far as like being a good casting, I'm going to go with no. And I actually gave an honest opinion right here on previous.
There you go.
Please don't use this clip later.
Well, let's see what everybody else is saying. I want to see these comments.
See the poll. Let's see the result.
Normally they crack us up. Like, what's
no one really commented on the poll on the.
Okay. It was just a decisive yes or no. What was it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So
let's hit the no.
For my voting, I'm gonna. And I had this argument when we had the production meeting yesterday. I said that if Justin Timberlake can be the voice of Boo Boo in the Yogi Bear movie.
Oh God, I forgot about that even since yesterday.
Right? Completely pushed it out of my brain.
Yeah,
I see no reason why Chris Pratt can't be a good Mario. I mean, like think back to when they cast Michael Keaton as Batman. A lot of unlikely choices in casting end up actually being really good.
Yeah, I mean,
that feels like a really big apples to oranges conversation right there, though. Like,
it's a generalization. I know
Batman.
It's a generalization, but I'm just talking in terms of castings. So he's supposed to be Italian, guys. That is
okay.
Cool
Thanks, John. I thought I was confident that he was Italian, and then I saw the article about Latino actors, and I was like, "Wait a minute, am I an idiot?"
One of my good friends, I saw him this weekend. He is actually Italian, and he was like, "Did you see they cast Chris Pratt as Mario?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Like, I thought they would cast you." but I mean, like, legit, he like jokes about like him looking like Mario all the time. So anyway,
going on. I think Chris Pratt will make a good Mario. So yes. Whoa. I'm in the minority.
I'm gonna upset some Super Mario friends. First of all, look, Super Mario is endlessly playable, endlessly addictive. I'm never gonna knock Mario. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really think it matters who plays them. Like, as long as they're funny, and I guess Chris Pratt was on The Office, he can do funny. Like, I'm fine with it.
He was in Parks and Rec.
Sorry, not The Office. My bad. Yeah, but
I was all.
God, I felt the whole room turn against me.
Yeah.
And he's silent. We were all like, "Wait, what?"
What?
He was Andy in Parks and Rec.
To kind of bring it back around, and I just remembered this because they were talking about like comics, and someone mentioned like not like missing out on Valiant earlier. One of the earliest Valiant comics I have is this.
Yeah.
No, totally. That's actually the first. That was like the I hate to say it, but like in the 90s, those were the only Valiant books I read. They had a Captain N one, they had a Link one, and they had a Super Mario one, and I read those.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm totally with you, Johnny, 100%.
Full circle.
Okay. Full circle.
And just to be fair, I'm not saying Chris Pratt might not do a bad job, but I'm gonna hear Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Right.
That's and
actually,
there's plenty of other voice actors out there that can do awesome voice acting, because it's voice acting. This is not a face character. This is literally your voice, and your voice is very distinct. And I mean, it'd be like, I can't think of the name right now. My daughter's going to be mad. The Lego character, him playing Mario in a cartoon.
Everything is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. It might be good. I mean, it's voice acting, like, that adds another layer to it. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have a comic shop shout out this week, right?
Correct.
But the reason we don't have that is because Jeffrey Hewitt passed. He was an inker for Marvel and DC, a ton of other places. And inkers are kind of unsung heroes of comics. Like, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And I'll be honest with you, I was not that familiar with his work until I Googled him and then realized I've been reading his work for years.
Okay.
So what we're going to do in order to honor him and honor like the fact that I was just willfully ignorant of his contributions is we're going to show you some of his artwork at the end during the credits. So stay till the end and and just admire some of his work. Maybe you also have read some of his stuff, because I guarantee you, because he's worked on some big titles. Definitely stay tuned. We're almost at the end. I think that's pretty much it, guys. All right?
Yep.
I think we've done enough damage.
I think we've done enough
I was going to say that.
We've offended Italian Americans. We've probably
Mexicans too. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
We're probably going to get Disney's probably going to attack us.
Probably going to get a letter from Disney.
Chris Pratt might tweet about us if we're not sure. Actually, one more thing. None of us. I saw Star Wars Visions, but you guys haven't watched any Star Wars.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been way too busy. I got a teenager that's about to have homecoming and a bunch of other stuff. I just couldn't do it. And I have a 6-month-old now.
That's right. Yeah,
just
you
turned
do.
6 months.
You totally do. But you guys did want to talk a little bit about Party Thor, and I know Johnny was big on this, right?
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah. Like, what is this about? What is the deal with Party Thor? I haven't watched What If in a couple of episodes, so what can you tell us?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
I'll come in on this.
Super fun. Yeah.
John's like, I'll spoil it.
Hey, it's a week past. This was last week's episode.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet,
it's past Monday. The rule. Yeah.
You know what? Let's just put up spoiler warning.
Warning. There you go.
I mean, we're not going to go over much. I mean, basically, the concept of last week's What If episode was what if Thor was an only child, and he didn't have Loki there as his brother to kind of keep him on his toes and humble him. So Thor is a more arrogant character, even more so than he is in the first Thor movie.
He's a Thor bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Flat Thor.
Came up with it.
So I'm not going to give any more away than that.
Yeah.
Other than that was one of my favorite What If episodes of the Disney Plus series so far.
Yes.
Okay. Until I saw today's.
Johnny.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Something to look forward to. I'm going to play catch up on it because I'm definitely way behind. I think the last one I watched was the T'Challa joins the Guardians of the Galaxy one, and I haven't watched another one.
It's a great series because
What
If was like one of my favorite comics or titles. Yeah. Even though they were all like one shots, it's still neat to see them go forward with that, even though it is in the confines of the Marvel cinematic universe. But it's still nice to see that they're carrying it on.
I totally enjoyed. I just have to interject on this. I totally enjoyed the zombie episode. Like I laughed so much, and like I really, really enjoyed that one. So
actually, one of the commenters. No, one of the commenters for the Social Swamp said that they saw Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
And like when it first hit the shelves, and they were like, "This is stupid," and just kind of like moved on. So that was their missed opportunity, I guess. And now, I was actually kind of confused for a second. So I was like, "Why is everyone talking about Marvel Zombies?" It was like 2 weeks ago. Like everybody was talking about online. I was like, "Are they making a movie?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the What If episode."
What If? Yeah, I totally enjoyed it. I watched that one twice actually.
Francesca says, Bro Thor was a nice break from all the others overly serious ones.
Yeah.
Right.
It was super fun. It was Sydney's favorite episode. She also is a Tom Hiddleston freakazoid. So yeah.
Nice. We support that.
Yeah. She liked seeing Loki in a different way too. And that sounds weird. She enjoyed the look. She enjoyed the show. Back to you.
Good save, Natasha.
Sure. That's okay. That's all right. No problem.
I apologize at the beginning of the show that this would happen. So.
This would happen. You know what? I do it every week, Natasha. So it's just I'm just passing the baton to you. I'll make up for it next week, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Well, hey guys, this is a reminder.
Oh, thanks, John.
This is a reminder. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, John. This is a reminder to like, follow, and subscribe. Ashton, where can they find you?
You can find me at Free Comic Book Day on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Come hang out and yell about stuff. Also, that'll be your first place for any Free Comic Book Day news as we kind of approach the end of the year and things get rolling for next year. You will hear it there first.
There you go. Is it the Twitter's like at Free Comic Book or something, right? Isn't it like
it's a character limit, so we couldn't get day in there. But if you just type in Free Comic Book Day, it'll get you there.
Yeah.
Natasha, where can everybody find you?
I'm at CannonDoll-X at all of the things. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, your front porch. I mean, who knows? Who knows where you'll find me? But I'm there, and I'm making TikToks now. I always share our awesome Toy Chest news, but now I'm giving you some behind the scenes of making talking toys and some cool, fun stuff for that. So TikTok, CannonDoll-X.
Oh, you know what? We were supposed to talk. Ashton pointed out some trend about TikTok to me that we should talk about because we wanted to see if you wanted to participate. So we'll talk about that after when we're off camera. Yeah, and you can find me
like
at
one of those where you grab the comic book and then you suddenly turn into something else.
Is that a thing?
Do you remember that? That was the thing like last year.
Yeah.
Like suddenly were like this, and then you're like in the cosplay or some crap.
I'm kind of like I'm a TikTok baby, so I'm still trying to figure it out as I go. So baby steps.
A TikTok baby.
But yeah, you guys can find me at Previews World. I just want to real quick point out that I got 2 articles up this week. Attilio Rojo got it covered with me, where he gave us the insight into his series Saint Mercy from Top Cow Productions. First of all, I love that cover right there. That's such a great cover. But then he shows us some of the character designs he's done, some of the process art he's done as well. We get a little insight into his career. I will say this: be very careful when you click on some of his social media at the bottom, because he gets a little sexy. on his feed.
Whoa there.
I love that cover too. Also, there's an interview on our website right now for These Damn Kids, which is from Second Sight Publishing. I talked to Bradley Golden, and I will also give a warning for this one because some of the imagery contained within that interview is a little shocking. So don't scroll too far down, Johnny. You gotta,
Whoa.
I don't know. I forget. I don't know if the show has a rating or not, but I'm going to say that, yeah, it's this book goes right. This book goes hard. So if you're in the mood for some true horror this Halloween, then definitely check that out. And that's it for Previews World Weekly, guys. I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And I'm the guest, CannonDoll-X.
And we'll catch you guys at the Stay Nerdy. Stay nerdy.
Don't forget that you can catch Previews World Weekly streaming live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific at Previews World on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Swear to me.